Hello beautiful glam girls, glam fam, glam everyone, happy Thursday. I'm just gonna make an informal story time video. I got my coffee here, it's Thursday. Usually today would be podcast day, but because of this craziness that I'm gonna get into, I didn't have a chance to record a podcast, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna force one. I'm just gonna skip this week and do tomorrow. So I figured while I have the vocal energy, welcome back to my channel, by the way. I figured if I have the vocal energy, I should story time what happened on my birthday. So let's get into it. It was rough. Okay, so you guys didn't know, my birthday is February 15th. Today is February 18th. Yes, so for my birthday, I've always dreamed. Also, I cut my hair. Look how short it is. I know for some people it's not short, but for me it's short. Also, look at this top. It's a bodysuit, and this is from my brand Lascano. It drops tomorrow, which is Friday, at lascano.co. Yeah, so my birthday is February 15th, and I always dreamed of going to a cabin up in Vermont, like somewhere up in the woods, like secluded, where it was snowing and it was just beautiful. And I got that dream. I'll show you a little video right here. So yeah, we went up to Vermont in this gorgeous cabin, so beautiful and rustic, and they had like all the best Target stuff, and it was just like gorgeous and fabulous and amazing. And I will be doing a full like birthday vlog, so you guys can see all of this happening in action. But I figured separate from that, I could do a story time video letting you guys know what happened. So everything was beautiful. The car ride was about 4 hours getting to Vermont, and everything was amazing. The car ride was amazing. It didn't feel very long. My husband and I are really good traveling. We don't like have to make a lot of stops, and we don't really use the bathroom that much. Like, I have to go maybe once throughout the ride, and he doesn't go at all. So if I can make it, I'll make it. And like, we're cool. We have a good time together. When we're traveling, we don't fight. Like, we're just so chill. Like, we really love spending time together. We don't get tired of each other. We're very blessed that we're really best friends, and like, we just get along so well. So I'm not gassing it. I'm just saying all that to say that the car ride there was magical. I didn't even take a nap. We didn't even have music because our radio in our car is messed up and we don't have Bluetooth, blah, blah, blah. So we didn't even have music, and we just talked the whole way, and we had such a good time, and it was so nice. So we get there, and it's beautiful, it's magical. Valentine's Day, we got champagne, we got strawberries, whipped cream, we have this beautiful cabin, everything is beautiful. We got drunk that night, had a great time. We made the TikTok feta pasta. It was delicioso. I think I might do a separate video showing you guys that as well, how to make it my way, which I think is the best way. And so it was beautiful. Valentine's Day was beautiful. Then the next morning, it was my birthday. Hey, my birthday, my 30th birthday. Don't tell anyone how. 30 is the new 20, because honey, don't I look like literally 22? Come on. I do not look older than 26. I know that much, baby. I know that much. This Puerto Rican Dominican caramel brown, this mocha latte butter pecan, okay? She looks young, honey. I got them good jeans. Stop. I'm messing with me. I'm messing with y'all. So, not really. So it was my 30th birthday, and my husband had these beautiful balloons. I'll show you guys the balloons. He set up all these balloons, and then he wrote 30 little notes, like 30 reasons why he loves me, which is what I did for him on his 30th birthday, which I thought was really sweet. So he did that for me, and it was just a beautiful day. Guys, it started snowing, and I was so happy. That it was literally a dream come true. Like, I couldn't have planned it better if I was God. Like, it was perfect. I was literally watery-eyed because I'm like, this is the most perfect birthday ever. I'm waking up with my husband, balloons, the notes, it's snowing, I'm in this gorgeous cabin in the woods. Like, it was my entire birthday dream. I have been dreaming of this birthday for years and years and years, and it was just incredible, right? And I'm so happy, and I was just like living my best life. I do have a full Vermont highlight on my Instagram page, so if you go there, you'll see like all my stories from that little trip. It was snowing and it was beautiful, whatever. And we were like, okay, let's drive into town. It's Monday. It was also President's Day, so we weren't sure what was gonna be open, but we were like, let's just take a walk into town because we were leaving Tuesday morning anyway. So we wanted to enjoy the day since it was our first and only full day. So I got dressed up, I got real cute. This is my little outfit, which I will leave the link to shop all of this, the whole look, down in the description box. So you don't have to ask me what I'm wearing. It will be linked. So I had my cute little outfit, and something told me that day to just dress warm. Now obviously we're in Vermont, it's freezing already, it's snowing. Obviously you want to dress warm, but when you're in a little town like that where you're gonna park and like you're going right out the door to wherever you're going and then you're coming back in the car, like you don't have to like overdo it and wear layers like you're going skiing, you know what I mean? So my husband was like, don't do too much, don't be hot, like we're not gonna be outside for too long. And I was like, well, just to be safe, I'm gonna wear like my little faux leather leggings that have like the little fleece inside and a sweatshirt, and then I wore a coat that was fur lined, and I had a hat, I had my gloves, and then I was wearing knee-high boots. So I was like, let me be like, you know, let me be smart, because I don't know, you just never know. Girl, well, let me tell you, okay, thank God that something whispered in my head to do that, because we went to town, everything was so nice, it was beautiful, it was literally, it felt like I was in a Hallmark movie, it was gorgeous. And we went into like the little coffee shop and we got little donuts and coffee, and then we went into this really beautiful little bookstore, which you guys will see in the vlog. And I got a book. I got Jessica Simpson's book because I've been wanting to read it and I was gonna buy it anyway, so I was like, let me support a little, you know, small business and pay the full $30 for this book. And I felt like really good about myself. I was like, look at me, oh my god, supporting small businesses, because I also am a small business owner, so I want to share the love. And I got the book I wanted anyway. I started reading it already anyway, so I was having a gay old time, honey. I was having a good time. So then we went to the supermarket on the way back to the cabin because we had to obviously get our own food. There's no Uber Eats out there, there's no delivery, nobody comes to the address we were staying at, so we had to get our own food before we got back to the cabin. So something told me again in the supermarket to get some extra stuff, just in, you know, just so we're padded for any reason. And because we went mainly to get a birthday cake, like birthday cake mix, so we can make our little birthday cake for me. And they had like some cute stuff. They had like sprinkles and the 3-0, and we also needed to get some stuff for dinner. So something told me like grab a few extras, and because it was my birthday, you guys know I'm on a health journey, I was like, let me treat myself. So I got like a little thing of sushi and a little bag of chips, and I was like, this is my little birthday snack. And then I have a little bit of cake, and that's like me being bad on my birthday. So we got that. I also got a couple little other things, and then we got food for dinner and stuff like that. Girl, on the way back to the cabin, we're literally probably 3 to 5 minutes away from the cabin. We're driving on the road, mind you, I told you guys it was snowing, so it snowed more. And my car is sturdy. She got her thing going, but it's a hatchback, so she's pretty sturdy, but she's older, and we don't have like the best tires in the world. We have 2-wheel drive, and it was pretty snowy. So my husband's driving slow, driving carefully, so we don't hydroplane, we don't slip, we don't slide, we don't crash, all that good stuff, bad stuff. And so the guy behind us is like really speeding, and this is like a little car, and we're like, okay, you know what, let's just pull over a little bit so that he can pass us and we can take our time, because we don't want anything to happen. Bad idea, I guess. We should have probably just kept going. I don't know what the answer would have been, but when we go to pull over, the guy fucking hits us so hard right in the tire. So at first when he hit us, it was pretty extreme. We both like flew forward, and we were like, what the you know, what happened? But when we get out of the car, we don't see anything wrong. There's no body damage at all, and we're like, what did he hit? His car looked like it exploded. His front wheel, his front tire was literally falling off, like dangling off his car. His bumper was half off his car. His car was messed up, and we're like, what the hell happened? Turns out he hit our tire. So it seems like what happened is that this is our car, right? This is the front and these are the back wheels, right? When we pulled over on the right side of it, So when he came to pass us on the left, his car went this way, which caused his front right side to collide right into our left back wheel. He directly hit us in the tire, which is why there was no body damage, but it was a very hard hit. And his car was like damaged, like totaled basically, and our car, it was just fine except the wheel. So what happened is the wheel bent in and pinched against the car. So you know how the wheel has space like on each side of it so it can turn. Obviously it's not up against the car. Well, he hit it so hard that the wheel was up against the car like this, so then it couldn't turn. Everything inside was bent, so when you tried to drive, it wouldn't move, and you could smell the burning rubber of the tire like being pinched. So we couldn't drive it at all. Thank God that everything inside was okay, like the heat was still working and all that stuff. But once we realized that we had to, you know, call AAA and get our car towed and all that kind of stuff, he also called, and the guy was, he looked like a little shady character. And when my husband first got out of the car, my husband was like, what the fuck, like you hit us, da, da, da. And the guy was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, like it's my mistake. Like the guy was really apologetic, almost too apologetic. Like he was almost just taking the blame to an extreme, like if he was just trying to keep the peace or like try to get over, because you know how people will act real nice to your face and then behind your back, like you don't know what they're really saying. I don't know, I just got like a weird vibe from him. He was kind of giving me like loser vibes. I don't know, I don't want to be judgmental, but I don't know. The thing that really pissed me off was that after the accident, everything, right, we're talking and he's like, I told my boss I was gonna get into an accident today. I told my boss, I just knew it. And I'm like, is that supposed to make me feel better that you're irresponsible? Like, do you get into accidents all the time that you're just willy-nilly assuming you're gonna get into an accident? Because my husband and I don't get into car accidents. Like, that's not something that happens to us normally. My husband's an amazing driver. My mother's an amazing driver. I don't know how to drive. Don't judge me. New York City born and raised, okay? But the people around me are amazing drivers. My stepfather is a truck driver. My father, my biological father, was a truck driver. My uncle is a limo driver. Everyone around me is a good driver, okay? So I don't know about this like life of just getting into accidents. That's not my thing. I don't know that kind of life. So he's just like, I knew I was gonna get into a car accident. I'm like, okay. So finally the tow trucks come, and the first tow truck that came, he's like, oh, mind you, it took like an hour for the tow truck to come, and we're literally freezing. Thank God that the heat in the car was still on, but one side of the heat wasn't working, which was my side, so my feet were freezing, and it was just like a pain in the ass to try to warm up. But thank God that I just warmed. So the tow truck guy is like, oh, AAA doesn't cover collisions, they said you have to pay for it, blah blah blah. So then now the tow truck guy is there and he's not picking up the cars, and so now we have to wait another hour for another tow truck to come. It was a mess. Then the second tow truck comes. Turns out that tow truck only had two-wheel drive, so he couldn't drive down the road we were on because it was a dirt road, it wasn't pavement. So then the other tow truck had to take our car down the hill. We had to ride with him. Then when we got down the hill, we had to transfer to the other tow. Okay, editing me here. I filmed this video today, so that's why I look the same. So update, when my husband got home after I filmed this video, he informed me that the guy is now trying to say it's our fault. He switched up his whole story, which I figured this was going to happen. Like I said, I didn't want to judge, but sometimes people are just very judgeable, or they just make it very obvious the kind of person that they're going to turn out to be, and I just got a sense. So now we're going to have to fight because it's basically his word against ours. And when the police came, I did take a video, but I was just one police officer. But we don't know like if he knew that police officer or like who called the police. They just showed up, so it could have been a friend of his, but the police officer was like, oh, you guys don't need a police report, right? You're okay. And we were like, yeah, because the guy was taking the blame. So although it's unfortunate that we didn't get a police report and we wish we had, at the same time, knowing that this person was telling people that he was scared of my husband and that he had a gun, I guess in retrospect, it was better that we just kept our calm and were friendly as much as we could be. Like, obviously, I wasn't being like super friendly, but we were trying to be as friendly as possible and just keeping the calm and the peace, which really helped the situation overall, because who knows what would have happened. Like I said in the video, he could have shot us, he could have shot my husband, and what would I have done? What would have been, you know what I mean? Like, who knows? So yeah, really disappointing. Now we have to fight, and yeah. So we have to transfer to the other tow truck. At this point, it's already 5. My camera died and I had to wait for it to charge, so I might not be picking up exactly where I was, but I think I was talking about having to go from one tow truck to the other. So yeah, it was 5 o'clock at this point, and the rental place for the rental car closes at 6. So I'm freaking out because the tow truck driver, the second one that we transferred from, right? So the first one took us down the hill. Then the second one picked us up there because he couldn't go up the hill, right? So we're in his tow truck and he's like, listen guys, I have to help the other tow truck guy get the other car because that car is totaled and he needs help. It should only take like 10 to 15, 20 minutes. And then, you know, within 20 minutes, we'll be back at the rental car place and you'll be there by the time it closes. So I'm like, okay. Didn't want to say yes, but at the same time, it's like, you're supposed to say no. Like, he's trying to help the other person, I guess. Like, I don't know. So we're like, yeah, okay, no problem. He's like, listen, you can sit in the truck, turn the heat on, put music on, like, do whatever you want. So we go into the truck, we're relaxing, everything's cool. We're like, oh, this is fine. 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass. I'm like, okay, we need to call the rental place to make sure everything's set up. Maybe they can have the car waiting for us. Maybe we can have somebody wait a little bit longer, because I don't want it to be 6 o'clock and then we're stranded, because there's nothing. There's no Uber, there's no cabs, nothing. We literally don't, we would be stuck in the fucking street. Like, we wouldn't have any way to get back to the cabin. So we didn't have phone service, so I had to jump out of the truck and literally walk up and down the road until I got a little bit of service. I tried to go into their website, there's no information, so we call and we're trying to figure out like how we can do this rental process. They start giving us all this shit about how, oh well, if you're gonna use the other guy's insurance, we have to wait so they process, and they don't process for 2 to 3 days. Oh, you need to have a license that's either in the state or a credit card or this or that. Like, there was just so many roadblocks that it ended up that we couldn't get a car. So they're like, listen, you can get a car tomorrow, blah blah blah. Pain in my ass. I'm freaking out. So then when the tow truck guys come back finally, they were like, the rental guys are like, hey, do you think the tow truck guys could drive you back? Like, what, you know, like try to figure something out. The tow truck guys are like, no, we don't do that. We're not allowed to drive you back home. So I'm like, what are we supposed to do? So then the guy that hit us, oh my god, I got scared because someone's like looking out their apartment across from me, and it just freaked me out to see someone's head like coming out of the window. I never see anybody. So the guy that hit us, he's like, oh, my wife is gonna pick me up and I'll just have her drive you guys back. It's the least I could do for hitting you. Mind you, we don't want to drive with this guy. We don't know him, we don't know his wife. Like, they're strangers, and I'll explain why it's even scarier in a second. So we're like, okay, fine, like that's our only option. And he knows the direction we were going in because he was on that road. So we're like, okay, fine. So we decided to take our car to the same place that the other guy who hit us, where his car's going, we decided to take our car to that place too, because that place is going to see the damage from the other car, and our car is going to be easier for the insurance to cover our damage, for the adjuster to come out and take a look at both cars. It just makes more sense. So we're like, okay, we're all right together. So he was in one tow truck and we were in the other tow truck. So as we're driving to the body shop place or the mechanic or whatever it is, the tow truck driver was basically saying, oh, that guy is shady, like something about him, like I don't trust him. Then he tells us that the guy that hit us told him that when my husband came out of the car, he was scared and that he has a gun in his car and he was gonna go grab his gun. So yeah, almost got killed by a racist motherfucker who hit our car. That's great. Thank God that, you know, my husband like chilled out the moment he came out of the car. My husband's not a fighter at all. Like me and my husband are very docile, peaceful people. Like, we're not gonna fight you, we're just gonna get out of the situation. And the other guy was like a scrawny little white guy from Massachusetts. And yeah, thank God, I guess, that my husband stayed calm, because if he would have shot and killed us right then and there, nobody would have known. Like, nobody would have found us. Like, it would have just been a murder that never got solved. Like, nobody would have known, which is really scary. And thank God that that guy didn't grab his gun, I guess. Like, who knows how they would have spun that one. Yeah, so he told the tow truck driver that. So I'm thinking, oh my God, you're telling us this when we're supposed to have him drive us back to the cabin? Like, I don't want to drive back with this guy now. Like, who knows what he's capable of? Who knows what's gonna happen to us? Like, no, it's getting dark. Like, we're in the middle of the woods and he was trying to drive us back. So I'm freaking out. I'm telling my husband, we got to figure something out. So finally, when we get to the body shop place, we're in the car, our car, because mind you, our car is still on. Like, it still works. We just can't drive it, right? Because the wheels messed up. So we're in our car with the heat on. My husband's on the phone with AAA, with the insurance company, my mom, like, just going back and forth, because this car is my mom's car and she gave it to us. So my mom's involved and we're all on the phone, and I'm in the car and I'm trying to figure out like what we're gonna do, and I'm on the phone with my mom while Antonio's on the phone with the insurance, and like, it's just a mess. The tow truck guys leave, of course, didn't fucking help us at all, and we're literally in the middle of the, like, it's the dark, it's literally a freaking parking lot of this body shop place. It's already closed. The guy who hit us, he keeps leaving, and we're thinking, okay, is he trying to like dead us and just leave us stranded? So a while passed and he finally tells us, oh, my wife is having a breakdown because she can't find the place and she's lost. We live 20 minutes away, so blah, blah, blah. Mind you, why were you on that road when you live so far from that road? But whatever. He said that he took a different way than he normally takes home. Of course, the day that he decides to take a different road is the day that we're on the road. So, coffee got me lit, guys. So yeah, we're in the car and I'm just thinking of all the options, and I'm running out of options. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking we're really gonna be stranded here until whenever, like, I don't know. So I was gonna call the cops, but then my mom was like, why don't you contact the owner of the cabin? Maybe they can help you, because I had already spoken to him about what was happening earlier, and he told us that we could, you know, pay to spend another night in the cabin. So I had already spoken to him about what was happening. So my mom was like, why don't you contact him again and ask him if he knows of anything? So I didn't want to ask him for a ride personally, but I figured if I insinuated that something would happen, you know, so I contacted the owner of the cabin, and I was like, listen, we're stranded. Like, do you know of a cab company or someone who could drive us? Anything, like anything that could help us. And he was like, well, actually, I do have a girl I use, or a woman, excuse me, a woman I use as a driver. Like, I guess she does like her own side driving business. She has like a big, nice like SUV. I always say SVU because we watch the show. So he was like, here's her number, hopefully she's awake, she'll help you guys. And this is just like by chance, you know, this woman could be anywhere. So I contacted her and she actually picked up the phone and she was like, I know where you guys are, I'll be there in 20 minutes. And I literally wanted to cry. I was like, oh my God, what are the odds that somebody would be able to help us, you know? And she actually drives like from Vermont back to New York and Connecticut and all these places, so she's really experienced and she's used to driving people and stuff like that. This is not just like a random like person. It was kind of like an Uber, so I felt more comfortable knowing that she does this for a living. And she was really nice and everything, and so we ended up getting lost on the way back to the cabin because she hadn't lived in that area for a while. She had moved like a few years ago to another town, so she was unsure where this cabin was, and we didn't have service. So at one point we were destitute again in her car on the road because our phones weren't working, but then eventually her car GPS worked enough to get us there, and then Antonio's memory and then my memory, like all three of us working together, we finally got to the cabin. Thank God that for some odd reason we had cash on us and we were able to pay her, because I would have felt so bad if I didn't have money. Something had told me about, I want to say a week ago, I was like, let me just put some cash in my wallet. Like, I never have cash, let me get some cash. Thank God that I did that, because it came in handy to pay this woman. I felt so bad, you know what I mean? Like, I would have paid her more, but I only had a certain amount of money on me. Anyway, so we get back to the cabin. I didn't feel any relief because I'm like, okay, I felt a little relief. Like, yes, we're safe for tonight, but we still have this hurdle of the next day or two to decide and figure out what's gonna happen to our car, because we don't know what's going on. So the next day, which was the 16th, we tried to figure out what we were gonna do. It's like all a blur, but we got in contact with the insurance and this and that, and then his insurance, like the guy who hit us, they said that they were going to take a few days to figure out what happened. And then eventually we were able to get our insurance to cover half of like the rental car. So then when that finally went through, we set it up, and they told us that they were going to be able to pick us up on, was it the 16th? No, the 17th. Yes, yesterday. So the 17th, they were like, oh, we can pick you up on the 17th, and they said that they were gonna come like at 9 or 10 in the morning. So the night of the 16th, we were like, okay, so we're good, like we're gonna be out of here by the morning. And we had the last of the food that we had that we bought on the 15th, remember, on my birthday. So the 16th, we had to eat that food, and we tried to stretch it as much as we could. You know, my husband and I, like, we can go without eating too much, like as long as we both have a little bit of something, we were okay. So we made a stretch, and we're thinking by tomorrow morning we're gonna be out of here. So 9 a.m. comes, we're ready to go, thinking that they're gonna pick us up, because Enterprise was like, oh, we'll pick you guys up and take you back, and then you can get your rental car. So then they call us and tell us that the guy who was picking us up went to the wrong town 3 hours away. So then we had to wait until like 1:30 to get picked up. We didn't have any food, and it was really scary, because it's like, okay, we haven't eaten in a while, and obviously we're not gonna starve to death, we're not gonna die, but it was scary to like be destitute with no car, no food, like in the middle of nowhere. Like it was just kind of, it was like a little taste of what it would be like to go through something like that, and it was very scary. So then eventually they did come, and we got a big truck, or like a big van. If you guys see my story, you'll see it there. And we made our way home, but the ride on the way home was annoying because my stomach was hurting, and it was like, I was so tired. I slept like 2 hours of it, and then there was traffic. We had to pick up the dog. Like it was just crazy. I mean, my husband and I made it through. We did the damn thing, but now we have to pay. This whole trip cost me like an extra $1,000. So yeah, that sucks, because now we have to pay the insurance deductible. But I think they're gonna reimburse us for the work later. Hopefully they also reimburse us for the rental car. I'm also gonna fight for them to reimburse me for the extra day that I had to pay to stay in that cabin. So yeah, hopefully we get reimbursed for everything. But guys, it was crazy. I mean, I guess the universe said, hey girl, you wanna have a memorable 30th birthday? We got you. We got you. I think I'm crashing from my coffee now. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I know it was a whirlwind. I feel like I could have missed something. I probably did miss something, but we will have a full like vlog where you will see all of this in action as well. So I'm gonna post this, and then I'll post the actual vlog so you guys can see it happening live, I guess. All right guys, I love you so much. Stay glam. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I love you. Okay, bye.